you what you think about innovation. And the way I would ask you is, the question is, what is innovation? Okay, and I would like you to respond your perspective on what is innovation. You can put it in the chat or you can unmute and respond. What is innovation?
Manoj, it's something that new and did not exist before. A new view, new way
Okay.
of doing things.
New and it did not exist before, and new ways of doing things. That's what you said, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you very much. You should write down what you just said because it's important, especially the last line. Okay, somebody else. What is innovation for you? Doing something better than before. Okay.
Hi, Manoj.
Hi.
This is Lata. Good evening, everyone. To some extent, this on the same slide what Mr. Ramakrishnan just said, innovation is something where what I'm doing currently, I could do it in a better way, in an improved way, is what innovation is for me.
Okay, better and improved way. Okay, good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Somebody else, what is innovation?
For me, this is also new thinking, from a new perspective, whether it's making a new decision, a new problem solving, making a product. That is why creativity is linked to it. It's a totally new perspective to conduct that. So it's a part of design thinking. It's a part of innovation, design thinking, and problem solving for me go together.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. Naveen?
Yeah, hi, Manoj. So I think for me, innovation is something that is something, a new idea that's been implemented, which never existed before, and which has a very significant value in the market. That's what I feel.
Okay, great. And so you see that as something that will help you win in the market, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
It's a competitive world, so I think innovation is something that can stand out when you compete with your competitors.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Okay, one more person, and then we're going to move on. What's innovation according to you?
I would add that innovation is also challenging the status quo and questioning things we have always been doing in a certain way. And it also contains that you want to take risk, or you're prepared to take risk and do something that might fail, but might succeed as well.
Right. So it's challenging the status quo, and there is a risk element in that, right? Right. Very good. Thank you. Just Charlotte, am I saying your name correctly?
Yes, it's perfect.
Okay, great. Thank you. So since you are here and you are from the creativity background, I have an extra question for you. What's the difference between creativity and innovation?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Thank you. And by the way, everybody can think on it. What's the difference between creativity and innovation?
I would say that you can be creative without being innovative at the same time. There's a big overlap, but it's also two separate bubbles that works separately.
Okay, great. Thank you. And Subhash, do you want to respond to it? And then Naveen.
Yeah, what I think is, creativity is a space which does not include any viable output.
Right.
You can be really creative and, you may create something which is not mass acceptable or is not cost effective. That would fall in the realm of creativity, and it has no boundaries. With innovation is more about creativity, using creativity, solving problems which can be widely acceptable in the market.
Very good. Great. Thank you very much. Naveen, did you want to respond?
Yes, I think it's kind of both are interrelated. So creativity is kind of a first step where you kind of explore the ideas with your team trying to brainstorm and bring some new ideas, but actually implementing implementing it is what is innovation, how it actually benefits to the customers or to the industry.
Right.
So that output is what is on the innovation part. Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
I think you, Navin, you seem to have seen my slides earlier, because I was about to say, for us, innovation is creativity plus implementation. So you can say creativity is your ideas. You have like hundreds of ideas, but that's not innovation. That's creativity, and that's important. And as Navin said, it's the starting point, but then it has to be implemented, and there is a whole journey, and most of the ideas don't cover the journey. And many of the ideas, by the way, are killed in the company itself. Okay, so we're going to look at that. Let me use a couple of slides to introduce you some basics in here. I hope you are able to see the slide now. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can see the slide?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So if you can see, there is a logo here at the bottom, which is BCon, and that's the company from Japan. It started before I was born, and it was started in 1964, and they're a global organization with a presence in more than 45 countries, and they're the creators of this innovative thinking system that we are going to learn today. So it's an OD consulting firm like ourselves, and we are partners, BCon for India and Thailand. And these are some of the countries where they are present. And they have a lot of other tools, some of them extraordinary tools. And this one is also a very powerful methodology. Originally, they invented ITS to make Japan more competitive, but the whole world is learning it. So now it will not, Japan may not have an unfair advantage, but of course, it's important and useful everywhere. Okay, so this is a little bit background about BCon and so many countries that they're present, and some of the clients that they're working with, and the long-term clients that they've been working with. Everybody, if you're not speaking, you should go on mute, and then whenever you want to speak, unmute and speak. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay. Okay, so now this is where we come back to you again. So I asked you this question, right? What interested you to join today? And now, if some of you could also share, what are the problems or challenges or improvement areas that you want to bring innovation to? So I'm looking at the question number 2, 3, 4. Where do you want to innovate? What are the problems, challenges, improvement areas that you want to bring innovation to? Or what opportunities are you wanting to tap by innovation? Again, you can share, or you unmute and share, or you can put it on the chat. Go ahead. Where do you want to?
Yes, yes, Manoj.
Yeah.
So my company manufactures membrane sheets, which are used in fluid filtration.
Right.
So some of the challenges and the problems that we are facing right now is differentiating our product from the competition, as well as inventing new applications for, or rather discovering new applications for the products that we already have on our portfolio. And the opportunities that I want to tap by innovating there is, we just really want to be able to serve a vast plethora of industries. So, and which we are not doing right now. I will not say which we are not able to do right now, but which we are not doing right now.
Got that. So I can hear that one is you want to kind of make a difference in your product itself. And the other thing is you want to be able to increase your customer segment, right?
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much, Mark. Somebody else? Where do you want to innovate?
Shalab here.
Yeah,
Now,
Shalab.
since I'm in the L&D field, I won't
Yeah.
say innovation will help in. I mean, I want to do too much of innovation into the ways of finding out, say, doing TNA, TNI, etc. But
Right.
innovation can happen at the delivery level, where the training is happening. So it can be gamification, it can be role plays. I mean, these are all there, but I can innovate on that and give them
Yeah.
something to remember.
Very good. So in your delivery, you can bring some innovation there. Fantastic. Thank you very much. That's a good idea. Somebody
Manoj,
else?
in
Yeah.
the field of education,
Mm.
making education more engaging, more interesting, and more purposeful.
Okay, more engaging and more interesting, did you say? And more purposeful.
Yes.
Hey, AGR, I have a special request for you.
Sure.
Since you are a PhD guide, why don't you innovate and find a way that PhD people can do PhD faster? You take away one lifetime out in doing PhD.
No, it's a very relevant question you asked, Manoj, and that is only because it is none of those things are most of the time it's not engaging, it's not purposeful, it's not interesting. and I can say that very well because I have graduated 19 PhDs.
Right, that's what. Okay, Rajiv, go ahead.
We are setting up libraries in schools and colleges in India with giving free books and library cupboards. The challenge that we face is that most of our students are interested in Facebook and WhatsApp to get information and knowledge and not the reading. So what do we need to do to make them go back to reading books again?
Very good. That's a very important area, and I think it will make a big difference. Yeah, thank you very much, Rajiv. That's good. Okay, one more person. Where do you want to innovate? Lata, did you want to share?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Me being in HR, I think creativity and innovation both can help me contribute to the business. I mean, we just don't want to be a label of a cost center, but how I could contribute to the top and the bottom line of the business by using innovation and creativity.
Oh, very good. Great. Thank you very much. I think that's interesting.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on. And okay, so as some of you said, there are two dimensions of innovation. I think you didn't use the same words that I'm using now, but I think it got included. So one is a domain which normally people think of is product innovation, product including services and of course products themselves, right? But then there is a process innovation. And this process innovation is relevant for every department, whether it's HR or accounts or your manufacturing itself or sales, R&D, you name it. Every dimension, there is a lot of process innovation that can happen and should happen. And many a times people don't give the same level of focus as they give to product innovation, right? But maybe the game is to be played at both the levels, product innovation as well as process innovation. And then of course there are innovations at business model level and all that. So all of that is also valid. Okay, so let's look at, and I'm going to kind of stop the screen sharing here. 1 second. So if you have been with an organization, you can respond from the perspective of the organization. And if you are an individual, then you can respond from that perspective. What drives innovation? What are the factors that drive innovation?
So I think there are too many parameters. Obviously, cost is one factor. Saving time is another factor. Engaging in, since I'm in learning and development, have a better engagement with your clients is another factor. So
Right.
everything involves innovation. So how do
Yeah.
you do it?
Yeah. What I'm saying is, what encourages innovation? What drives innovation?
I mean, everything. Cost will drive innovation.
Right.
Your
I agree with your point. So
yes,
your
yes.
the cost concerns, the time concerns, and the customer engagement concerns. In your case, both levels, right? Customers
Yeah.
as well as participants. So
Yeah.
those are the factors that definitely drive innovation. What else drives innovation?
The mindset
Making
of
the
continuous improvement.
Okay, the mindset of continuous improvement. Great, thank you. Somebody else?
Willingness to fail.
Willingness to fail. Okay.
I think
Making
a problem
things simple.
solving. I think a problem solving. If there's a problem which needs a solution, so that drives into innovating routes.
Yeah. So
Problem
problems that you are committed to solve, right, they also trigger innovation. Okay, great. Somebody else? What
making
drives
things
innovation?
simpler.
Making things
Making
simpler. Right. Very good, Rajiv. Got you. Thank you. Somebody else? What drives innovation? And look, if you're in an organization, look from the organizational perspective, what drives innovation?
Your observation that things don't or not organized as efficient as it could be.
Okay, great. Fantastic.
I mean, competitive edge.
Competitive edge. Okay, great. Now let's go. See, all of us understand the importance of innovation, right? But I don't know if you subscribe to my perspective. I find not enough innovation happening everywhere.
Yeah, you're right.
And I don't even find companies investing the kind of time and energy, and individuals also investing the time and energy required to innovate. So we all say innovation is great, important, everything. And I was just checking my observation with BCon friends, because they work globally, and they were subscribing to the same perspective that everybody talks innovation is important, but not enough innovation is happening and not enough efforts are happening for innovation. So the question is, what are the restraining factors for innovation? What stops innovation? What is not allowing people to go ahead for innovation?
Fear of the unknown,
Okay,
taking
so
risks.
one is the fear. Okay, somebody else?
Appetite for risk.
Risk, okay.
no
Manoj,
peace in mind.
No
No
peace of mind.
fear of failure.
Okay, Rajiv and then Kishore. Raju, can you?
You to innovate, you need to have a peaceful mind. If you
Okay.
are going to look at WhatsApp 24 times a day and 7, I never have mind to rest. Then I cannot think creatively.
Right. So social media is a distraction from innovation. Right. But yes, peace of mind is definitely important. Not only the distractions, also when you are worried about something, like excessively beyond a certain level, that might also be coming in the way of having the mind space to innovate, right? Yes, Kishore.
And Manoj.
Shalabh, I'll get back to you 1 second.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
So
fine,
fear of
fine.
Kishore, go ahead.
Yeah, fear of failure. Like
Fear of failure.
usually,
Right.
yeah.
And
Comfort zone.
comfort zone. Okay. Sylvia?
And then there is a, yeah. Okay.
Yes, I think, yeah, in our case is that we don't have enough time to think, enough time to have, yeah, to be creative, because you are focused on work all time and don't have time.
Right.
Translating a creative idea into a service design or a product design. So one may lack that, you see, the skill set to translate or, transit from creative idea to,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
So,
Shalabh, I have
yeah.
stopped. Yeah, go ahead.
So, I think, to innovate, you need to think. And to think, you need time for yourself.
Right.
Now, we are so involved, if we are in a company, we are so involved in the day-to-day work, where do we get the time to think?
Yeah.
So that's hampering the process.
Yeah.
And Manoj, in your language, there is no commitment to discover non-conforming data.
Right. So, and I like also what Peter Senge said. Peter Senge is, by the way, from MIT, and he's known for bringing systems thinking to the corporate world and also building the whole conversation of learning organization. And one of the things that I remember he's saying is no reflection, no time for reflection is one of the biggest obstacles why organizational learning doesn't happen. Right? So I convert it into small, no reflection, no learning. It's all information, not learning. Information doesn't translate to learning unless people get a chance to reflect on it.
Manoj, can I? Okay.
Yeah, just 1 second.
Can I add my bit? Yeah. So
Yeah,
my doctoral research is in team learning.
Right.
And it tells me that there are 3 processes which are extremely important. One is collective reflection.
Right.
One is collective experimentation.
Right.
And third is mutual respect for each other's thought process. So these are the 3, yeah.
I think they're valid. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mohak, you are to say something and then we're going to move on.
Yes, no, the question was what stops us from that? And I was just reflecting that while on a conceptual level, I am aware that it is something that will really thrust my business forward.
Right.
But as of right now, it looks like a discretionary investment of time.
Yeah. We don't have time right now for innovation, and then we will get disrupted, and like many big companies in the world get thrown out of the market, and then they will have all the time but nothing to do.
Yes.
And if you think this is not applicable, then you can go and ask the Nokias and the Blackberries of the world.
Yes, most definitely.
Doesn't
that is
matter.
the fastest way to irrelevance.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how successful you are and how busy you are. If you're not going to innovate, you should know what future awaits you. Right. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Let's move on. And we're going to do a small exercise. Okay, everybody, if you don't have paper and pen with you, can you take a minute and manage that? Get some paper and pen with you. You're going to need it. And also, if possible, pick up a newspaper or a magazine or something. We'll need that for an exercise later on. Right now, you just need a paper and pen. Okay, so if you have a paper and pen, can you raise your hand either physically or electronically so that you know you're ready? Thank you. Everybody, do you have a paper and pen? You're going to do a small exercise, 30-second exercise, but you need a paper and pen. Okay, ready, everybody?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so please draw a fish. And you got 30 seconds for this. And don't outsource it to the kids in your house. And once you complete it, see if you can bring it to the close to the camera and show it to us. Okay, Raju, I saw you. Thank you. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Okay, Subhash, I saw yours. Okay, great. Thank you, everybody. Good. Okay, thank you very much. Somebody said, okay, so now, okay, great, fantastic. Now, of course, I can't see all the images here, so I'm going to ask you a question. How many of you have got your fish with the head towards the left? right? Raise your hand if your fish has the head towards the left. Okay. Okay, great. So as you can see, most of the hands are up, a majority, right? So it's definitely more than 50%. It looks like approximately around 70%. Right? And by the way, this happens all over the world. Right? When me or my colleagues ask people this to draw a fish, they end up drawing, most of them in every group, around 70 to 80% people draw the fish facing left. Why? Why does that happen? Not just why did you do it, but why does that happen?
I mean, the only reason I can think is they are left brain, probably. So
Yeah, you could say they're left brain, somebody could say they're right-handed, somebody could say something else. But consider that if you look at from your childhood, most of the times you've been shown fish, whether it's in a book or on some any other painting, or most of the times you've seen it with a head towards left. And when I gave you only 30 seconds, you didn't get much time to think. So what was there on the top of your mind, that came out, right? Now, this is like a pattern that we have. And this pattern also knowingly and unknowingly, mostly unknowingly, comes in the way of creativity. Okay, so we have patterns, and those patterns come in the way of our creativity.
Okay, Manoj, just to add, mine is on the right.
Yeah. There are always 15-20% people
Yeah.
who are also doing it. But the point is, how come this majority of the people do it, right? It's not just,
Yeah.
It's a group dynamics that we're looking at.
Yes. So probably, yes, it is so ingrained into our brains that we see it with, if you have given just 30-second duration to us, so
Okay.
probably our imagination will go to how we have seen the fish.
Yes.
So it's always on the left side. So that's how we draw it.
Yes. Okay, good. So now everybody, you need to unmute and respond. This is like a fastest finger first. Okay.
Okay.
Everybody ready? I'm going to show you something and you have to tell me what it is. Go for it.
Change.
Change. Okay, you're right. One more. Yeah. So of course, this is the answer to that question. But now ready? We're going to show you one more. Okay. Ready?
ITS.
ITS.
ITS, yeah.
Good. It is ITS. What happened? Why did we take more time in the second one compared to the first one?
Because we are not programmed that way. We practiced to look at the certain things in certain way.
Yeah. And in this case, you got programmed to read the black font.
Yeah, the color.
Right. And that was the first exercise. And of course, generally also we have been more programmed to read the black. But in the first exercise, you successfully read the black. So now your brain was looking for the black. And in the second one, the black didn't make sense. Then your brain had to kind of let go of the old programming and see newly. And that's where it took a couple of seconds more for most of us, right? So this is just to show how fast our brain gets into pattern or thinking in pattern, and we miss out creativity, if one can say that, right? Okay, so let me see. Where do you want to go from here? Right. By the way, this various types of fishes could have also been drawn, and some of you might have drawn, but okay. So you can see there's a container, right, which is used for storing grain. It's a barrel, wooden barrel, as you can see, right? And there is a metal strip that is attached to it to give it strength, and so that it doesn't open up and the grain doesn't fall out. And in Japanese, this is called taga, T-A-G-A, taga, right? And it's very good for this vessel. But unfortunately, what is happening is this taga is connected to our thinking. So we get restricted by this way of thinking, and this taga can be because of many things, because of our habits, because of business environment, the company culture, the boss behavior, or the industries that we have been stuck in. Various ways we get stuck into fixed ways of thinking. Okay, so that's the challenge here. And now what we are going to do is we are going to now actually experience breaking the taga, right? Breaking our mental barriers. Okay, are we ready for that?
Yes.
Okay, so let's play with some creativity first. Of course, we're going to talk about innovation, but let's start with creativity. And the aspect of creativity is generating ideas. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to use a catalyst to help us think. What's the purpose of a catalyst? Catalyst purpose is to speed up the whole game, right? That's what a catalyst normally does. It speeds up and also increases the efficiency. Let me tell you a small story. If you have been into farming or if you have heard of farming, if you plant a tomato tree, tomato, which is supposed to be a fruit, but is supposed to be also considered vegetable, right? It creates innovation there itself, right? But jokes apart, a normal tomato tree, when you're planted in a soil, it gives you around 60 to 80 tomatoes. But the same tomato plant, when it is put in a special solution, how many tomatoes does it give? Somebody?
Over 200.
Okay, somebody else?
Around 150.
150. Okay, guess, one more guess. Okay. Okay,
If
so
it
I'll
is
give you a
fertile
hint.
solution-
Both of these are too low numbers. Okay, so now if you see if you can guess more.
So
If it
maybe
is fertile solution, maybe in
1,000.
thousands.
10x.
Yeah, it gives 10,000 tomatoes.
Oh my God. 10,000.
Right, but it has to let go of the soil. If it is in the soil, it gives you 60 to 80 tomatoes. If it is in a special solution, it can give you 10,000 tomatoes. What does it say to us? What can we, how can we connect this to us and our thinking, our creativity?
Okay, it says, please, the roots that you are attached, or probably the constraints that are holding you back, you need to let go of them. Only then you can grow.
Okay, good. Thank you. Somebody else?
We have to let go of our common thinking pattern,
right,
and adopt some new environment or new thinking pattern.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. One more person. Subhash?
Yeah, I think we need a coach. Coach becomes the solution. Let go your own ego.
Definitely, I cannot disagree to that. Okay, great. So we are going to kind of
Change the context.
exercise. Yeah. Yes. So we're going to do some exercises which are going to help us like creating a new catalyst right? It will be a catalyst for us. So this is the process of idea generation, and there are various methodologies that we use. And right now we are going to learn the first one. This is called technique B. This is the divergent thinking, and this is the first one is called technique B. Can you read the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And
Yes,
it's all about common notions. Okay. So what is the methodology? What is the mechanism that we are going to use? So we are going to use some hint. We call it as IG, idea generator, and it will trigger some image. And then from there, you have to come up with various ideas. So let's see. So if I say, okay, everybody come up with a new design of a car, you're going to take some time, right? You're going to take maybe hours, maybe days, weeks, months, whatever is your perspective there, right? But now if I give you some hint, then the whole process will get triggered. Like from 60 to 80 tomatoes, we can go to 10,000 tomatoes, right? So one hint is a car with an engine on the roof. All of a sudden you can get some image and it can trigger some thought process, right? By the way, any thoughts coming out of that?
A flying car.
A flying car, very good. Anybody else?
I mean, something like a drone, probably a flying bird kind of a thing, where
Okay.
you have engine at the top and probably some flaps which can take you far.
Very good, great. Let's look at something else. A car with 20 headlights.
20 headlights.
Okay, Shalab, let's have everybody else also participate, yeah? Okay, somebody else.
A car which can move in any direction.
Can move in any direction, okay? So then you imagine, and so you first want to have the image come up, and then you can come up with a lot of ideas. Any other ideas coming up? Anybody?
In the shape of a ball with these 20 headlights.
Yeah, the shape of a ball. All right, right. One idea that crossed my mind when I was reading this yesterday was, oh, we can throw this ball, a kind of thing, or in the water and deep sea. If you want to find something is lost, we can use this as a illuminator, right? So 20 headlights, or even in the fog, this can work like guiding light for searching light. There could be many ideas, right? So everybody, we want to get into that mindset. And remember, there are no good ideas or bad ideas, right? It's just ideas that we're looking at, quantity right now. A car that only runs backwards. Now, all of a sudden you have to think, right?
It's on a rail. It's on a track. It's on a track.
Yeah. Now, you don't have to get stuck with what was written there, but you have to use it as a trigger for thinking, and then you don't have to get stuck or kind of honor what was said, but you kind of build on that. There's a freedom there. Okay. So what are all these examples are about breaking the common notion. So there was a common notion that the engine is in the front of the car or the back of the car, and we break the common notion and we said it is on the roof, right? Or we have some headlights and we said, oh, 20 headlights. So that's one way of breaking the common notion. Okay, same with the car. Normally we look at car running forward and backward, but we are saying it only runs backwards. So it's kind of breaking, and it triggers a certain thought process, which otherwise would not get triggered. Okay, so now let's look. We're going to now practice it. Okay, everybody, now we're going to do some real exercise. Okay, so on a piece of paper, if you want to do this, you can create 3 boxes like this. So what we're going to do is we are going to first look at the column 1, which is common notion. And let's use an example of shoes. So what are the common notion about shoes?
They're worn on the feet.
They're worn on the feet. Okay, everybody take a minute and write down some common notions about shoes. Right? On a piece of paper or in the chat, right? If you can do it on the piece of paper, good. If not, they can do it on the chat. Just write down some common notions about shoes. So people who joined in late, welcome. We are working on introducing, so we are introducing the whole creativity and innovation conversation. And in that right now, we are in this phase of creativity where we are looking at breaking common notions. So we are learning our first technique, which is called technique B for breaking. And this is about breaking common notions. So first, before you break common notion, you need to make a list of common notions. And we have taken up an example of shoes, right? So great. So let's hear from us. Let's hear from a couple of people. What are the common notions about shoes?
It has fixed sizes.
Fixed sizes, okay. Somebody else?
Always comes in pairs.
Always comes in pairs, okay.
So
if you lose one, you have to throw away the second one also, right?
It protects your leg.
Okay.
Has thick soles.
Thick soles. Somebody else was saying protection.
To be worn in legs.
To be worn on legs, okay.
And it protects you from
Protects you, okay.
heat, water, dust, cold.
Okay, so protects you from water, dust, and okay, good.
Cold.
Yeah, great.
They face forward.
They face forward, okay.
Made of leather.
Different shoes.
Yeah, good.
Different shoes for different purposes.
Yeah, made of material. Many of the times it's leather. Okay, good. So now what you do is in this exercise, you take one common notion. Okay, everybody, you take one common notion that you want. Take any one. Okay, don't take more right now. First, for doing this exercise, take one common notion and write it down. And then in the next column, you have to break it. Right? So how do you break it? The way you break it is by adding no or not in the sentence. For example, if you have written, right, the shoes are worn on the feet, okay, then you can break it by saying shoes are not worn on feet. So whatever is the common notion, you add a no or a not, and you break that common notion. And then allow yourself to think. And come up with ideas. So let's hear some ideas. So shoes are worn. So let's stay with this one for a minute. So we said shoes are worn on the feet and shoes are not worn on the feet. What are the ideas coming out of that?
Maybe we just have a sole which can be attached to your bottom of your feet, and you don't have anything on the top.
Wow, very good. We just have a sole, attachable sole. Wow, brilliant. Somebody else?
I have one, but it's very silly. But I choose the common notion on a shoe is something that puts a layer between your foot and the ground.
Right.
So what if it doesn't do that? So you sort of could have reversed sandal, so it covers the top of your foot, but you only have straps beneath your foot.
Yeah, wow. Totally opposite. Yeah, great.
It would be very good in Denmark because when you walk on the beach, the sand is very nice here, so you actually want to put your feet on the sand.
Yes.
But you don't get a sunburn on the top.
Yeah. Charlotte,
To
you will
me,
be surprised that there is a whole industry working on it.
Really? Nice.
And it's called, they promote barefoot technology. They want the footwear to give you an experience of barefoot. Okay, we are consulting one of the companies in that industry.
Cool. So not so silly.
So, all of a sudden, it's not silly, right?
So, Manoj, to me, if the shoes are not worn on feet, then they're worn on head. And if we are going to wear them on head, then I would call cap a shoe.
Okay, yeah, or maybe you'll find that you can create. I'm just building on what you said, and I can say that there is a particular kind of a cap which has maybe that rubber or whatever else we normally use, so sole material in the shoe. We put it on the head, and then we have a new game like a volleyball, but this is a game which is where you only hit the ball with the head.
Okay.
You allow yourself to be creative.
So,
this is the free time to be creative. Like, let's blow. Go ahead.
Manoj, if it's worn on the head, then probably we should start walking on our head. So some Sirsashan becomes a common practice then.
No, but it could actually be, you might be so close to something great. People need some support structure to do Sirsashan, and a lot of people are not able to do because.
Yeah.
And it might be you can create something which helps them to do Sirsasana.
Yeah, definitely.
You should get in touch with AGR, and he likes yoga, and both of you can create something. By the way, you'll be surprised what you pass off as silly might be an industry in the making.
Yes, definitely. I mean, nothing is silly basically. It appears to us at the beginning, it might appear silly, but if you really work on it, it can be an industry itself.
So one of the examples that we have here, we say foot wrap sandals.
Yes.
Okay, good. So now what we're going to do, let me move from individual here, and I'm going to put you in groups. Okay, everybody, can you get your videos on, everybody? Because if you're going to put you in groups, it is really helpful if you are having your videos on. And this is an interesting exercise, but your friends need you to participate in this. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to send you in breakout rooms. Okay, and you will have around 5-6 minutes, and your job is to continue with this example of shoes. Okay, what you will do is, as a team, get aligned on one common notion, then break the common notion by adding no or not in between, and then allow ideas to come up. Is the exercise clear for everybody? Okay, somebody, can you tell me the exercise again? Yes. So that I know you understood it. Vijay, can you help us? Since you're a master in this field.
Oh, I'm not a master, I'm learning.
So can you
I think
recap the exercise?
What we do as a group is to agree on one notion that we all share amongst the many that we've listed. And then to use a precursor as a not or a no before that. So we invert or reverse the notion that we have and use that as a prompt to start thinking as a group.
Yeah, don't use the word invert or reverse because that's a different exercise that we have. Okay, so it will create color. But just use a no or a not. Okay.
A negate that.
Negation. Yeah, break it and negate it. Okay, so we're going to put you in breakout rooms, and you will have 4 to 5 people there. And yeah, go ahead. This is a good time to ask the question.
Yeah. Okay. So not related to this exercise per se, but overall.
No,
so I understand.
Can you hold on then? Can we complete this exercise? Is it possible?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, because we are already in the momentum to go for this exercise, and we'll definitely answer your question, Alam. Yeah. Okay, so I'm giving you 6 minutes. for the exercise. Okay, enjoy. Great. How was your experience?
Very amazing.
In 6 minutes, you could have a lot of ideas. Okay, so
We
each.
got many more business ideas.
Great. So each team, can you nominate one person from your team to share the final idea? Okay. No, sorry, share all the three. So what is the common notion? What is the breaking and the final idea? Share all the three things. One person from each team. Go ahead.
Pallavi, go ahead.
Yes. Should I?
Yes.
We actually, the common notion we talked about is shoes should be of fixed sizes. And
Okay.
then the breaking was they do not have fixed size and shape.
Okay.
And the ideas we had were just having a shoe with silicone flexible material which is adaptable.
Okay.
Another idea was just a ball of silicone to be adjusted according to the choice of shape and size. And the third idea was cling film, which will be just one, but it will have more flexibility and strength to protect the foot. And Upma, can you add more?
Then we have that there's something, the material grows with your feet. You know,
material grows with your foot. Yeah, I like it very much.
Then one more idea was that we have a ball.
All parents are interested now because they have those who have children growing in the growing age. Right? This will be interesting. Good. Go ahead.
And then we had one more idea that it is a ball and you just have to insert your foot into that ball and it adapts to your size, shape, whatever.
Wow.
So another thing was that now this could be for anyone. It's not only size, it could also be for men, women, children. And last idea was that it could be any material which is flat but can be wrapped around your ankle, like and then redone, tied out, redone, like a cellophane paper. The way we do, we wrap it, we unwrap it, and it's again workable. You know.
Wow.
So
Fantastic. I think you got some $1 million ideas in 6 minutes. This is crazy.
Yeah, it was a great experience. One idea can really make you think so deeply.
Right. Brilliant. Let's have another team.
Ravi, do you want to go next?
You continue, Rukmini.
Rukmini, go ahead.
Okay. So we had our notion was that shoes always come in a pair. We wanted to say no, they don't always need to come in a pair, or they don't need to be in a pair.
Wow.
And the ideas we had was one, for example, we have different non-identical shoes in a singular form. They are not sold in a pair, but they actually you can mix and match, because the trend always is about different shoelaces or different sorts of sides. So why not different shoes that you can wear on your left and right? Then also because we all have an asymmetrical body, and your left and the right are all not identical. So from a shape size and from a width size of your feet, you can get your shoes customized with us, with whichever entity. And also if we could provide materials in terms of, for example, some people have a sweaty left foot and not a sweaty right foot. Some people have a broken nail which bothers them. So shoes which are customized particularly to needs of someone at that point.
Wow.
So these were some of the ideas. Ravi, would you like to add any?
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Let's go to the next team. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Anu. Actually, our common notion was shoes are worn for protection, protecting the feet. So the idea, the breaking was like shoes not worn for protection. So we were thinking in that.
Very
so the one idea was shoes worn for fashionable shoes, like which can be customized to the location you visit. Maybe when you go to beach, it will adapt to that form, and when you go to some formal meeting, it will adapt to that form. It's kind of self-adaptable shoes we were thinking of.
Wow.
And again, in the same lens, when we thought, another idea was like shoes that can satisfy any age group, which can be used for children, which can be used for adult group. So our shoe is customizable, kind of self-adaptable shoes.
Brilliant. By the way, all of you, as you are listening, I'm sure your brain is throwing up some new ideas also, right? Like as you're listening, you're coming up with some other ideas. Great. Go ahead, Anup.
Yeah, we didn't think too much about the implementation part, but I think the ideas are, I'm from electronics background, so I can think a lot in that direction.
Very good.
And in fact, Kehindev brought out this idea. He also might be having something in his lines, like the area in which he is working. Based on that, he will be getting some implementation ideas for this.
Who was that?
Kende. I don't know whether I pronounced it correctly.
Yeah. Kende, you want to add anything?
Yes. And I think Anup has said it all. Though we have some other ideas, but he has said it all. He has captured it all. Thanks.
Okay, great. If you want to add something, you can. Okay, Kende. Don't be shy. Okay, somebody else.
Yeah, so Manoj, our group notion was, common notion was to be wore in legs only.
Right.
And the negation of it became to be not wore in legs only. And so from that, the question arose that what does the shoes actually do? So shoes actually protect us from external, when we go to outside, it protects us from the pain that we are going to get to walking on the road or the pebbles. It could hurt us. But that inspired a space where it actually is protecting us, but in a way also taking away the senses that we can experience when walking on the ground or walking on the grass or walking on the mountain. So it is not giving that sensation, that experience that we would get from the touch.
Right.
And so the idea was that we build a shoes that could at any place give you any experience that you want. So not just the pathway you're walking on, but right now, let's say I'm sitting and I want to feel like I'm sitting in water, or I have my legs in water, or I have fish below my legs going, or I want to feel grass right now. It would become shoes that you don't need to always walk on.
Yes. I think if there was somebody from the shoe industry here, they should just hire all of you as consultants with the kind of ideas you're coming up with. Great. Subhash, you have some more ideas?
No, so I mean, that's all it is. You could use that shoes both for walking outside and experiencing real time the terrain you're walking, except the pain.
Yes.
But you could also experience any sensation at any place, anytime.
Fantastic. Great. Brilliant. Okay. Any other team? Pradeep, you are in which team? Has your team been covered?
I was with Vijay team.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll consolidate whatever I know, and I would like others to also to come in if I miss out anything. So our common notion was saying that shoes are made for comfortable walking or for the use, but the what we want to negate is no, it is not comfortable. Shoes are not made comfortable. Why? The reason being not comfortable is like we wanted to make sure that as after some time after wearing it, we make the shoes uncomfortable with some timer, so that the person who's wearing it gets to know that it's time to remove and get some ventilation.
Very good.
the legs, and also that the foot, and they can also walk and come back. It is like how we gave a beautiful example of how our chairs have become so comfortable that we hardly get up and walk for some time and come back. So we are sitting for a long time. So it's like that. So we are making the shoes.
Brilliant.
So Manoj, I was in the same group. The idea we came up with that we can make shoes uncomfortable with certain intervals to
are
do
visiting
your
temples, and you, even without their knowledge, they are getting into the temples, and you have the shoes and get in.
Yeah, Pradeep, your internet was patchy. Can you?
Oh, okay.
Can you just repeat your last two lines, and Kalindi, I'll
We
come
were
back.
telling we wanted to make it uncomfortable based on the locations also.
Right. Okay.
Like temples, like homes.
Okay. So the people don't wear there. Okay.
Yes.
Good. Very good.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I request the other team members if I have missed out.
Yeah, Kalindi was saying something. Kalindi, you want to add anything?
So we also came up with the idea that we can use the uncomfort in the shoes with certain intervals for doing your baking, for doing your cooking.
You can
Like
have
reminders,
timers in that.
timers, yeah, alarms, etc. Yeah.
Okay, great. All of a sudden, the shoe has become such a great tool. A lot of ideas. I'm sure some of you can create weapons out of it, and some of you can create healthcare out of it, and some of you can put AI into it, and God knows what all you can do with shoes. And we were thinking just, oh, it's a simple product. Nothing is simple when you have innovation around you. You can make it anything you want, right? I think the team has done a great job. Did we miss any team? Charlotte, you were in which team?
Yeah, we chose that shoes very often have laces. So what if they don't have laces? What can we do instead? And first there was some, very simple ideas, but it sort of turned into in the end that you could add a digital lock to your shoe that you would unlock with your phone to wear your shoe and to get it off again.
Wow, good.
And anyone else from the team, please add in.
Who else was there with you?
Yeah, I think you're muted.
Shalab.
Charlotte came up with a brilliant idea, which, as usual, she was saying it's a crazy idea. But he says you have to unlock a puzzle to enter your shoes. So children will love it. I mean, also children will love it. I mean, puzzle, every time they get a different puzzle, and they have to complete the puzzle, and only then they can enter the shoes. Then we also came up with going back to basics, khadao.
Right.
So slippers or khadao. So, and we can have Velcro, we can have elastic, anything but the laces.
Okay. Anusha, did you want to share something? Thanks, Shalab.
Yeah.
Anusha? Did you want to share something?
Yeah, sir. I was in group. Yeah, no, but we during the conversation we were also saying maybe with shoes we could take one step at a time. So maybe you could just add to the existing design. You could just add a sib. So the Charlotte's problem of having to experience the sand when still wearing, you could just open it and then do it.
Okay. Okay, great. Very good. Thank you very much. So let's move on. And what we want to do now is take some questions. There was some question that I had not answered before we went for the exercise. So, gentleman who had asked the question, can you ask that question now? Or anybody else, you can also take opportunity if you have any question. First, start with a question around this exercise if you have anything, or then you can ask any other question connected with this conversation. Then we're going to move ahead with one more technique. Let's learn at least one more technique. Somebody?
So, okay, this is Rakim here. Not
Rakim.
exactly to this exercise, but the overall, like I was thinking aloud, I think what we are trying to do, what are our mental models are there, we are trying to break that.
Yes.
And now if I go deeper into that, at the moment, because I know English, and that's why shoe draw a picture into my mind. And again, maybe our ancestor who would have defined the languages, they didn't know what is HOEE. Somebody has defined that. And that's why shoe has come, because they would have used some language. The thing is, what I'm trying to understand, and if there are more techniques, happy to attend that. But at the moment, at least to me, it looks like we may be creating a solution and then searching for the problem. If I look from the, let's say, the design centric, what is the problem? We are not solving any problem. We are just coming out with some ideas, and it may fit some problem. So understand it is giving new ideas, but like which problem got solved? I'll just pause here. I know there will be many things you will be having in your arsenal, but just wanted to hear your this one.
Yeah, okay, great. So I think that's a very important point. And we started the session with, what is innovation? Innovation is not creativity. It's creativity plus implementation. So I think, Raktim, I'm going to use your question as an opportunity for me to go to a topic which I had put for later on, but now I'm going to go there right now. And just 1 second. Okay, so let's see. Let me go back to that. Okay, I hope I come back there fast. Okay, good. So what we are looking at as innovation is basically there are 4 phases that we talk about. The first one is creativity, which is generating ideas. Right? By the way, this is not design thinking. Okay, so those of you who are you are exposed to design thinking, and or you love design thinking, that's a great thing. That's a world in itself. Okay, and this is a different world. It will of course match somewhere, but this is not in the same way of working as design thinking. But of course, exposure to both will kind of ultimately help you accomplish what you want to accomplish. So these are the 4 phases that we're talking about. The first phase is generating ideas. And in this system, the program that we have, innovative thinking system, this whole methodology, there are 7 techniques that we use to generate new ideas. So if you have a team of 20 people and you put them together for 2 days, and given their issues that they or the areas that they're focusing on, they may come up with hundreds of ideas. Okay, hundreds and hundreds of ideas. So, but of course, creativity is useless unless it's converted into something else, right? So then we have the next phase, which you can see is called narrowing down the ideas. Right? So how do you scientifically shortlist the ideas? So again, we have 7 techniques to shortlist the ideas. It's not just okay, the most powerful person's ideas or the most senior person's idea, but how do you scientifically shortlist from hundreds of ideas into a smaller list of ideas, maybe 10, 15, 20 ideas. So there are 7 techniques we learn in that for that. Then you will still see that these ideas are quite raw and they need to get polished. And say, for example, if you are in the sales and marketing domain, you might like some idea because it matches to your interests. But when you go to the CEO, or when you go to the manufacturing person, or when you go to the finance department, they may kill the idea. They may not kill you, but they may kill the idea because it's not polished to include their concerns. Right? So every raw idea needs to get polished like a diamond, right? So there's a raw diamond, and then you polish it in the same way. Consider that what the ideas you're going to get, those ideas are going to be raw, and they need different kind of polishing to make them ready, right? Okay. So again, we learn 7 methodologies to polish the ideas. So this second and third phase is about narrowing down the ideas and then polishing it, making it ready from the perspective of multiple stakeholders. And then there's the 4th phase, which is where the real kind of rubber meets the road kind of thing is implementation. How do you make the idea implementable? And what are the various things that you have to do, including from the technical side, from the managerial side, from the organizational politics side, or the organizational, the whole dynamics that are involved, and how do you navigate this whole project to make sure that it is getting implemented, right? So this whole game of innovation, the way we see it, is in these 4 phases, and each of these 4 phases is supported by 7 steps or 7 guidelines or 7 techniques, and the total of 28. And that's what we use the total as innovative thinking system. And when we work with companies, we train them on not necessarily all the 28, but we train them on as required 3 to 4 of each of these phases, and then they can go and implement. And when we do coaching and consulting, then we actually see whatever is required and introduce those techniques to them, so that they're not able to just come up with lots of ideas, which is the starting point, but actually able to take them through the whole journey and implement. Okay. And recently, we have been working with one of the companies in Thailand, and we worked with them on organizational development. We worked on their culture and other things, but we also trained them in innovative thinking system. And they won their Prime Minister Award for Best Managed Small and Medium Enterprise. And I just saw a couple of days back, they came up with a new product using this methodology. And it kind of, not only that, it's like you can use it for processes, you can use it for upgrading each department. But these are the whole 4 phases: creating ideas, then shortlisting them scientifically, then polishing them, and then making them implementation ready. So who was the friend who asked this question?
Yeah, Raktim. Yeah.
Raktim, yeah. So I hope it is answering your concern.
Yeah. 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 Thanks.
Thank you very much. Okay. Anybody else? Any question before we go ahead?
Manoj, I was wondering whether we can break patterns in handling emotional situations. There are some fixed patterns, either I get upset or I stop doing anything. Can we come out of that and, use this or similar techniques and deal with it a totally different way?
Are you saying for yourself, AGR, or are you saying for a stakeholder?
Yeah, it's generally for everyone. I was, of course, thinking of myself, but
okay, because
even in organizations, we can think of that.
Yeah,
train people to deal with it more effectively, coming out of the fixed patterns.
Yeah, I think it's possible both ways if you look at using the tools, right? I think for yourself, when you use these tools, you will be able to go beyond the emotional reactions. Okay, the level 1 tools. Sorry, the creativity tools, right?
Yeah.
We call them the divergent thinking tools. Somebody needs to go on mute. Nag, can you go on mute? Yeah. And then the polishing techniques, AGR, will help you in taking care of the perspectives of the stakeholders, including their emotional reactions. And they're designed, some of those techniques will include addressing the emotional reactions of the stakeholders. And how do you plan for that, and how do you plan to navigate through that? Okay, so this will get addressed in the polishing techniques. Okay, and also in the, some of it will also come in the implementation phase steps.
Yeah, I got the point. What was missing is stakeholders.
Yes. Somehow they are always a blind spot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Any other question? Do you want to learn one more technique? Hello, everybody. Do you want to learn one more technique?
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, great. So I had requested to take a newspaper. How many of you could pick up a newspaper or a magazine? Just do that if you don't have, and let me take you through that. Okay, it's an interesting technique. Okay, so let's stop here. Good. Okay, so now what you have to do is, everybody, you got some newspaper or some magazine or something that you, which has text, a lot of text. Okay, it could be anything. So what I would like you to do is close your eyes and move your finger and put it somewhere on the text, and then open your eyes and see where your finger is, and is it on a noun? If not, then look around it and find a noun. Okay, so did you find a noun? Unmute and speak.
Yeah, Adani Hindenburg Mamla.
No, don't take a particular company, but you need a
Yes.
thing, right?
Jira.
Okay, good. So now I'm going to take you through this exercise, and then we'll do this again. Okay, 1 second. So now here. Okay, can you see the screen? So we have taken, so imagine that you have been working in in a company which manufactures cigarettes, right? And you have been asked as to come up with a new type of cigarette. Okay, some of you don't like it, it's okay, just for the sake of exercise. Remember, we are only doing the exercise, we're not asking you to smoke. Okay, so like AGR said, some of you may have to control your emotions. Okay, so now imagine that we moved our finger on the newspaper or a magazine, and then I came across, what happened? Okay, so I came across the word traffic signal. Okay, now what is the image that immediately prompts up when you hear the word traffic signal? Hello?
Red, stop,
Red,
stop.
red and stop, right? Somebody else, what is the idea that immediately comes up? What is the image that immediately comes up?
I need to wait.
Countdown.
Countdown, stop, I need to wait, right? Something like that. Okay, so now you got red, and it has its own connotation. So your job is to now use this image that came up for you in making a new type of cigarette. What will you do? Come up with ideas.
Time to have a smoke.
Okay, but you have to connect to red.
Generally, the cigarettes are white in color. This will be red in color.
Okay, good.
The smoke will be red in color.
Smoke will be red in color. Okay, Shalab. Sorry, Subhash.
Yeah, I thought of 3 colors, so I thought that the cigarette will be in like 3 colors, like fancy, more colorful.
Okay, very good.
What comes to my mind is that the cigarette will have those red lines, how much you are having each time. And you have to stop smoking when you reach that line.
Yeah, great. Very good. Somebody else?
In 3 colors, so that we can see like when we are like over with 3, and then again one round of 3, and then 1 round of 3.
Okay, great. So yeah, one of the ideas that was there is a red marking on the cigarette. It says beyond this, when you smoke, it becomes more harmful, right? Because So cigarette with a red marking for caution. So you can smoke up to a certain level, and then there is a red marking which says now you should throw away this cigarette. Okay, so it kind of does two things. It kind of reduces the damage for the smoker, and it also increases the sales of the cigarette. Okay, so now let's see. So we're going to do another exercise in the same technique. Okay. So now, now you are working in a new company. Everybody, you have been now appointed in a newspaper company. Okay? And you have been told that we want to increase the sales of the newspaper and make our newspaper attractive. And so you moved your finger on the newspaper, on some text, including a newspaper, and you came up with flower, the word flower. Okay, so what comes up in your mind the moment you see the word flower? Somebody?
Freshness.
Freshness, okay.
Colors.
Colors, yes.
Fragrance.
Fragrance, yeah. So freshness, colors, fragrance, right? So let's take fragrance, right, or scent. Now can build ideas for newspaper. So you take the image of scent or fragrance, and let's get some ideas for newspaper. Take a minute and think, and write down.
Make a scented newspaper.
Wow, make a scented newspaper. Okay.
You can choose the scent while ordering.
You can choose the scent while ordering. Okay. Send me a rose-colored Times of India.
Yeah.
Rose.
That's so nice, actually, because otherwise they smell so bad. Yeah.
Okay, somebody else. Come up with ideas.
It is colored images of flowers.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
So one of the idea that comes is that when the newspaper comes to your home, it's in that flat format. It comes in a format of a flower. When you touch it, it becomes like a newspaper.
Very good. You get it like a flower or a bouquet, and you touch it and you get your newspapers. Wow, great.
Instead of the paper, it's a different material, which is after reading, it's malleable to be crushed, and it relieves the fragrance around. That's all.
Oh, wow. You read the newspaper and then you crush it and it gives you fragrance, and your whole house or office is smelling of whatever was the flavor of that newspaper
No more
that day, right? No more raddi. Okay, good. Somebody else?
Just building on that, maybe you could take the newspaper and plant it in your garden, and it would decombust. Is that the word? And it would like bring up flowers that would smell.
Oh, fantastic. Do you know that is also happening?
I know it's happening with the urns. Is that what you call it? These things with if you get burned and
no,
yeah.
I received some greeting card from one of my clients, and it said that after you have read it, you can put it in the soil, and it had those seeds in it, and it would kind of flower.
Very
yes,
nice.
it's called seed paper, and actually my friend is doing business out of those same products. They actually have seed pencils and seed pens and seed paper and whatnot.
Right. So Charlotte is today finding out all our ideas are industries in the making. Okay, great. Okay, so now we're going to send you in the group, and you're going to do this exercise in the team. Everybody get your videos on, please. This is the last exercise. Let's do it well. Okay. So I'm going to give you an interesting topic. Okay. So you've now been appointed as a special projects person in an ice cream company. Okay? So your job is now to make some magic with ice creams. Okay, and imagine, so this is a linking, this technique is called linking. So where you do a random linking, you kind of take a text, a source of text, and just find a noun there, and then you use that noun to trigger some ideas. So from that noun you get some image, like we saw traffic signal, and then from that we got the image of red, and then we built the cigarette accordingly. Then next time what we did is we looked at the word flower, then we got scent out of it, and then we built some images out of it, right? Some ideas out of it. So here, what I recommend you do is at least one of you find some text and move your finger with your eyes closed and put it somewhere and find a noun. Whatever noun you will find, each team will find a different noun. And then you connect from that noun to the image, right? Like flower give you fragrance, or colors, or anything like that, you connect to the image. And then use that image to trigger new ideas. So is this exercise clear for everybody? Okay. Now, at least one person in the group should have some access to a newspaper or some text where you can close your eyes and point at something and find a noun. Okay, so we're going to give you again 6 minutes for this exercise. I'm going to send you in breakout rooms. This will be new rooms. Okay, and good. Okay, enjoy. Hey, welcome back. Good to know that you're not going out to eat an ice cream, and you waited to at least complete the session. Thank you. So
we are about to do that.
I'm sure as we listen to everybody's ideas, some of us are going to get tempted. Okay, so each team, let's have one person representative sharing.
Yeah, Anu, please say.
Yeah. We came across the word Russia.
Mm-hmm.
So we had 3 points actually. When with the name Russia, I get the snow kind of environment there.
Okay.
So the idea was to come up with something that is suitable for Russians. We came up with hot ice cream that can be used in cold climate.
Oh, wow.
So when I suggested that, in fact, Mohak was telling it is already available at Ahmedabad.
Yeah.
Hot ice creams are already available at Ahmedabad.
Yeah.
So one other thing which Mohak suggested was most of the Russians are having drinking issues, and due to that they have some digestive problems. So he came up with ice creams with some digestive enzymes that help digestion.
Right. Very good.
And the third idea was Minu actually connected it with the mood swings Russians are having. Sometimes they will be on the side of peace, sometimes they will be attacking some other countries. So she connected it somehow to mood swings, and she was suggesting something like ice creams that can give you different moods.
Okay. Good. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Great. So other team, let's have next
the
team.
word was gym in our case.
Okay. Good.
So we came up with an ice cream that will reduce your weight.
Oh, wow. Please send me one.
So no gym required.
And then ice cream with the shapes of different things that you find in the gym, so that every time you take ice cream, it reminds you of the gym.
Okay, I don't want that one.
We also came up with the idea that ice creams you can have in the gym.
That
Her idea. She said that. And also, if you have ice cream in the shape of the weights and you're lifting weights, and once you've reached your goal, you eat a part of the ice cream.
Okay. Got that. Okay, thank
And
you.
we can make some ice cream, which will be healthy with some materials which are healthy, so that we can have it even after gym or while doing the gym and all those things.
Good. I like that. Thank you. Good. Somebody else? Other next team?
Yeah, I can go for our team.
Yes.
We ended up with the word adventure.
Adventure, okay.
So we had 3 ideas. One was to, when you buy an ice cream, you get a coupon and you scrape it and you see whatever you win, maybe a new ice cream or something. And another idea was that you just buy an ice cream that maybe it's just white and you don't know what flavor it is. So when you eat it, it's like an adventure. Or a special ice cream that you can only buy on a cruise ship or something. When you go on adventure, you can buy this ice cream.
Okay. You know that there is a company which sells soft drink like this. It has a question mark on the can. When you open and when you drink the can, then only you come to know what flavor it is. They have 4 or 5 flavors, but you cannot make out till the time you actually drink. So it comes with a question mark on the top.
Okay, I've never heard of it.
This, okay, so again, an industry in the making. Fantastic. Okay, one more team.
Yeah.
Yes, I would like to share.
Okay, Pallavi, go ahead, and then Kiran.
So the word we got was table tennis.
Right.
Tennis. Yeah. So what came to our team is number 1, ice cream with the cone of tennis racket and the ball as actually the ice cream. Number 2, second idea was that some idea should be developed around playing tennis with that ball of ice cream so that it becomes a motivating factor to increase the performance. Number 3 was having nutritionally dense ice cream to be eaten for the tennis players so that their stamina and performance in the game improves for the remaining game.
Good.
And number 4th point was selling for increasing the sale of the ice cream. We can sell it in the stadium itself by motivating parents to give this nutritionally dense ice cream to their children.
Right.
For their better health.
Okay, good. Fantastic. Pallavi is a dentist and she's now getting children to eat ice cream. Wow.
But that too nutritionally dense and sugar.
Yeah. Kiran, go ahead.
Yeah, so the word we got was soil.
Right.
Okay, so we came up with idea that we can create an ice cream which has that scent, that smell of soil when it rains.
Right.
The smell of the first rain. Then we can develop the texture of the ice cream which look like soil. So it becomes difficult to figure out whether it is a soil in the cup or it is actually ice cream. Yeah, then we thought of an idea that we can serve the ice cream in that earthen pot instead of plastic material.
Good. Very good. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's good. Very good. And you will reduce the kind of wastage that happens, right? With the cups and the, you're also supporting the environment in that way. Great. Fantastic. So we're going to kind of close fast, but let me just take you through 2-3 things before we close. Okay. So what we are learning here is the whole methodology of innovative thinking system. And as I had mentioned earlier, so we start with divergent thinking. Anytime when you want to have a lot of ideas, firstly, because before you get into editing and shortlisting and all that. So you have all these techniques. We learned technique 1, breaking, and technique 6, linking. And there are 7 such techniques which you use to really create a truckload of ideas. And then you use the screening techniques to shortlist those ideas in a kind of a scientific way. and using the 7 techniques like what is mentioned here, the bird's eye and the bug's eye. Bird's eye is where you look at a macro level and then you go into the micro level. And like that, there are various techniques that you learn. And then there are polishing techniques where you look at the benefit, increase the benefit of it, reduce the drawback, leverage some strengths, do some testing, and those are the techniques that you use to polish your ideas, make them more attractive. The focus is to make your ideas more attractive. Firstly, to your internal stakeholders in your company, because most of the times the company itself is the deathbed of all good ideas. And all those of you who have worked with companies, you know what I'm talking about. So first you need to get your ideas polished enough so that your internal stakeholders support you. And then, of course, you also want it to be attractive for the customers and the external stakeholders. Right? So you polish them and then you look at, okay, how do we really implement them? Because that's where the real game is, right? And for that, you need to understand, you have to do the road mapping. You need to understand where you're going to get support, where are you going to get resistance, what kind of resistance is there, and what kind of power exists. There are different kinds of power, and referral power, and the authoritative power, the domain expertise power. There are different kinds of power, influencers. And you need to know those powers so that you can channelize them in favor of your idea. And then you have to have some contingency. You need to have the reliant information sources. You look at what are the critical factors, non-negotiable factors, and using all of that, you create roadmaps for your ideas to see the light of the day. Okay, so this is the whole innovation technology. And what we do is we start with a 2-day workshop to introduce the whole thing. Or sometimes when companies want to really go full out, they do a 5-day workshop where they actually learn and work on this. And when people want to really have a breakthrough in their innovation, they want to create an innovation culture, or they want to actually have new products and new services, then we work with them for 6 months, 1 year, hand holding them in this whole journey. So that's what we do in this work of innovation. This is innovative thinking system from BCon Japan. And yes, I'll share my contact details here to everybody. And if you need any further information, please feel free to reach out to us. And I am also going to share a survey. You can take a survey for your organization. How innovation ready are you? Okay, I just put my contact details here in the WhatsApp, and let's see if I can share this survey link somehow with you. 1 second, give me a second. So there is this innovation driver survey. Let me see. Okay, yeah. 1 second. I'm going to show it to you also, and I'm going to also paste it in the chat. Okay, can you see the link? You can, and I'm going to paste it in the chat. Let me know if you get it in the chat. No, I think not. Okay, so just note down this if you can. That will be good. And if you, it's on beconglobal.com. Okay, it's a survey on BCon. Here you can see BCon, BCon, that's the name of the company, and the website is called beconglobal.com. And there you will /survey and you will get this. Okay, and I think that's it. Let's stop here. Everybody, really thank you very much for participating with us in this session and giving us an opportunity to share this interesting technology with you. everybody, thank you very much. I hope it was worth your time.
Yes, thank you, Manoj, for
Thank you,
giving
Manoj.
us an idea of innovative thinking. Thank you. That really helped
Welcome.
transform the thinking.
Okay, great. Thank you. And
Thank
please
you.
please do apply these two techniques. And
Yes.
also, if you can share and try it with your colleagues, train them in that, and you can apply. And you will, I'm sure you will get results out of it. Please do apply.
Sure.
Thank you, Manoj. Thank you for the
Thank you
perspective.
very
Yeah.
much.
Right.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye, all of them.
Bye.
Manoj, I had few questions. Can I
Thank you,
ask?
Manoj.
Yes. Go ahead, Subhash.